And it is. Hello, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? Troy Rawlings here. Welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the. And today we're doing Meet the, I guess we call it wine lady, wine connoisseur. What would you call yourself? Wine diva, wine chick.
All of that, all of it, all of the above. Wine enthusiast. I've been called it all. Sommelier, anything, really. If it has to do with wine, you can call me it.
The amazing, beautiful, the most infectious smile in the world. Somebody's gonna be mad at me about it, but her smile is everything. And her smile is actually worldwide now. The owner of Zuri wine tasting is Tuanni Price. How are you, Tuanni?
I am doing fabulous. I'm doing great. It's about 8 o'clock where I am, 8 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, even though this is your generic, I want to let y'all know what's going on. It's like 10:28, 10:30 a.m. here in Los Angeles. So it's about 8:30 p.m. in Cape
Yeah.
Town, South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we
Yep.
global, y'all. This is my first African interview. It happens to be with a chick from Los.
You are officially worldwide Troy now, right? We're gonna change your name.
First, worldwide Troy. I can get, and it's probably worldwide Troy somewhere in France. Like, wait, I am worldwide Troy.
That's my name. Yeah. Somebody in Nigeria has already claimed it.
So, so let's go right in. This is Meet the Interview. I try to go right in and get as much juiciness as we can in a short amount of time. So we IGTV and YouTube and everything. And I'm gonna try my best, and I'm gonna continuously try to get Tuanni to smile throughout the interview. So I'm gonna be throwing in shots and stuff. So you're originally from Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually, believe it or not, we've known each other for a decade now. We met 10 years ago.
Oh my God. Has it been that long? That's crazy, right? That is crazy.
Yes,
That's crazy.
years, and I saw you, cute, pretty young lady, had her Zuri wine T-shirt on. We were doing the cat social events, I think with Cheryl Smith when we first met.
Yeah. Yep. That was fun times. I love Cheryl.
And you were introducing the whole wine tasting thing. So, what got you into? When did you know that you had a love for wine? Two parts. When did you know you liked wine? Because some people are like, I like wine, it's okay. But when did you know you had a love for wine, and when did you know you wanted to take it further?
Those are so many questions in one. But okay, so I didn't grow up drinking wine at all. But when I graduated from college and I was working for a five-star hotel, I wanted to be more fancy. So it wasn't even about the wine, it was about the
Or
lifestyle that I wanted.
the lifestyle.
Yeah, more fancy, right? More bougie. And so I started asking people at the place that I worked at the hotel, like people that I thought would be into wine, tell me about wine, tell me where I should start, and nobody knew anything about wine. Well, anyway, it just so happened that one day my manager gifted me dinner in the restaurant. So I took my mom and my sister. It was a complimentary dinner, and the five-star restaurant was the St. Regis Hotel, right? So we go to this five-star dinner, and I'm responsible for ordering the wine. The sommelier hands me the wine list. It looked like a foreign language. I couldn't tell you for sure if it was a red wine or a white wine. I just pointed to anything. He brings it over. He goes through the whole tasting ceremony. He poured me a little bit of wine. I nudged my mom and I said, I'm treating everybody. I can have a full glass of wine. I'm grown. And she's like, you're supposed to taste it and tell him it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mom
So,
Dukes was like,
yeah,
baby, you could have asked me.
like, baby girl, right? And so I did that, but like the sommelier there was so snobby and he was so rude about the whole thing. So that was like my first introduction personally into like real wine. You know, I had drank Boone's Farm and like White Zinfandel before, but like this is fine wine. So then after that, I said Strawberry Hill,
What y'all know
Strawberry
about
Hill. So then
Strawberry Hill and the chicken box? Baltimore
you
represent.
know what?
Oh,
If you know something about Strawberry Hill, just share this video, right? So I started a wine club with my girlfriend, and we would meet once a month, and one person was responsible for food and for wine. So they'd have to like do all this research on the wine, and this was before Google. And then they'd have to prepare a meal or buy a meal and feed us all and give us this wine and tell us how they pair together. And so I absolutely love the club. I hosted the first one, and I poured a Chianti. It was like it was probably a terrible Chianti. It came in this straw basket, and I had catered it with some Italian food, right? So I had bought some Italian food from this one restaurant, and like just tasting the wine with the food at the same time, that's when I fell in love with like wine and like the whole experience, because food enhances the wine enhances the food, and that's when I fell in love. And so then I started having these club meetings like at my house after the club ended, where I would invite people over and I would talk to them about anything new that I learned about wine, and I would fix them food. And people just loved it, and they said, "Oh my God, the way you talk about wine is so like it's so informative and it's so fun. You should do this for a business." And I was like, "Do what?" And then they're like, "You should teach wine tasting classes or whatever." They didn't even say that, but I was like, okay. So I thought about it, and I put together a business plan, and I just came up with an idea of how to teach these wine tasting classes so that they were fun and informative. And that's when I discovered that I had a superpower. My superpower is just talking to people about wine.
That's right. And now give people a little, because our folks don't. We're talking about the people who don't know who you are, and you've made in the past 10 because in the past 10 years you've made some amazing strides. You've done some amazing things. There's people from the West Coast to the East Coast of the United States that know who you are and really appreciate what you do. And I love you to pieces. But here's the thing: what's your degree in, and what's your background in professionally?
So my degree is in political science. Historically, my career has been in accounting. Like I've worked as an accounting professional, director of accounting, for years. That's how I actually just like paid the bills and, funded my small business. And yeah, so that's my background, political science. I graduated from Grambling State University, HBCU, whoop, whoop, and worked in accounting for a number of years. And yeah, that's my background. But when I started to get into wine, I started studying wine. So I studied with the Society of Wine Educators. I studied with the North American Sommelier Association. And right now I'm studying in Cape Town so I can get my WSE certificate. Certification.
Come on. So what is the WS?
ET.
WSET.
Wine,
so what?
Spirit, and Trust. Something like that. Wine and Spirit Trust. So something like that.
What does that certificate allow you to do? Or is it just something that edifies you as a person when you go out and teach?
It's just something that, and
I have something to put on the.
I took the test online because they give you this little mock test, and I scored like 95% or something like that. And I was like, I really don't need to study for it, but I'm going to study because I don't want to get molded when I take the test. But,
Right.
It's just something I'm just trying to build up my credentials, because sometimes people do like to see that you have pins and you have certifications and pieces of paper. But for me personally, it doesn't mean anything. And that's the thing that I really tried to stay away from in my wine career, is having too many like titles, official titles and official pieces of paper, because I feel like that's where it gets lost in translation sometimes. And people who do have that, sometimes they can be super snobby, and then they don't relate to regular people when they're talking about wine. And it's really important for me to be able to connect with people, and not to be like, oh, well, I'm a, triple certified, this and that. I just want to be able to connect with people in a really meaningful way and have them love wine as much as I do.
And I have to say this, because I love people. I love people, and I love people to love people. And you get a joy from being around people. You can tell you connect. You have a great time everywhere. I know you got so many females hating you, like, girl, you just living your best life everywhere you go. I see you in South every time. Why you always smiling? I know you have people. I know you have people.
You can't be that happy. Nobody ain't
right. Hey, right. You always happy. You ain't got no man. Or you happy because you ain't got no man around. Who's the man? Who's it? That's the thing that people don't understand. I get it, but I remember one time getting in contact with you when I saw you were transitioning from Los Angeles. So I saw you were visiting. You was like, visit South Africa, be gone for like a month. And you visit, then you were like, I'm out, y'all. I'm out. And I'm looking at everything. And I hit you up one day. I said, okay, what happened? Cancer scare, somebody die. What's going on? Because to me, from the outside looking in, and from a lot of people who may have seen it, it looked like you did an eat, pray, love. It looked like you just said one day, it was like, I'm done with this and I'm out. And you were like, no, it's just, this is something I wanted to do. And I fell in love when I came over here. And it's like you took the journey. So I don't want people thinking that when you say certifications aren't that much, you've journeyed this for, I've watched you journey this for a decade. I was saying that because when I met you, working for a tech company, you're making good money. But
yeah. I miss that good money too, right? No, and you know what? And I don't want people to think like, and certifications, pieces of paper, degrees, they mean different things to different people, right? And so like even me, when I graduated from college or when I went to college, it wasn't necessarily just to get a bachelor's degree, right? It was for the experience. And that was the most important thing to me. And so when I talk about the certifications, that's all that I mean for me. But and education definitely is important. So I feel like I wouldn't discourage anybody from getting those certifications, but make sure you're getting the education. Like that's the most important part. And so this
I was saying they should make sure whatever they're doing, they have a love for it. Because we've seen people, how many people you went to college with and they're not doing, you going to college like I did.
There's people who have a doctorate degree and they're not doing anything with that damn degree. You know what I mean? Like it's just a piece of paper. But this has been a journey. So ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to live abroad. Like it's always been like, I feel like right now I am living my best life, but it's intentional. It's with dedication. It's with sacrifice. And I am. When I was in junior high school, I was just thinking about this. I had this best friend, Brandy, and her mom up and moved to Brazil. Like she would go back and forth to Brazil. Then when we graduated, she actually moved to Brazil. And I always thought, oh my God, her mom has this amazing life. And I want to move out of the country. I didn't really know what it meant at that time, but I knew I wanted to move out of the country and experience something bigger and different than America. And so that was number one. And then number two was, what was number two? I just lost my train of thought. So that's what I wanted to do. And then like me and Brandy would talk about where we wanted to live. And we loved the movie Flashdance. Remember that movie? Flashdance?
Of course I do. And you the construction chick that have a bad body and be a great dancer. Yeah, I remember the movie.
Right. Okay, yeah. We remember it for different reasons. But
right.
Do you remember her loft? She had this beautiful loft, right? She had this beautiful loft apartment. And we loved that loft. And like our dream too was like to grow up and to live in a loft in some major city somewhere. And so like that's literally what I'm doing right now. I have this beautiful loft. I live right in the middle of Cape Town. I have amazing friends in Cape Town and in Los Angeles. I can't forget about my Los Angeles friends. That like it's just an amazing life filled with so much love, right? And it's hard work. I don't know how it's going to end up. I would like to end up a millionaire just so that I can help more people and be more comfortable. But I might not. I might have to go back to LA broke and rebuild my life all over again. But whatever happens, this moment right now is so awesome. It's so awesome.
This moment right now. And before we get out of here, we're definitely gonna like I said, I can talk to you for hours, of course. But and we build, and I look forward to seeing you back on this side and getting my ass over to Cape Town too. But
yes!
Here's one of the big things for well, let me mention this. I definitely want to mention this because years ago I got involved with social media like heavy in '98. I was always a computer nerd. People didn't know behind the scenes. I was waiting for my dad to get me a modem in the '80s. I might have been a little Mark like Zuckerberg or something. But I think it was early 2000s or after I got here, whatever it was, when I really started getting into Twitter, I saw a guy who was like Wine Library, Wine, Gary V, and I was like, Wine. I was like, okay. I would talk to him a little bit. And he was really into the wine piece, and he was doing all, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then not knowing what it would all evolve to, and not knowing the background of his father owning the wine store and liquor store and all that stuff, and him working and him using his social media platform to take it to the next level. He knew a lot about wine and he had a passion for it, but it was really the fact that he connected well to people. And that's something I see with you totally. That's genuine, that no one can do. That is really your superpower. The fact that you're so infectious and people gravitate towards you. And like I said, you have the most infectious smile, but because you really love people. It's like she's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when you're talking about wine, and people are like, and you're not snobby. But I get it now. If someone approached you and you were interested in this information, they were like real snooty and like, oh, I don't want to be that person. But you
Right.
genuinely, people gravitated towards you. So, what would you say to the person? Because there's like I said, we could do an hour conversation. You have two grown ass adults. They're not even children. You have adults. You have two children, but they're adults now. You have a very supportive family and a supportive base in Los Angeles. What would you say to the person? Like I said, because from the outside looking in, it looked like you made a leap. But as I talked to you and found out the steps and the fact that you always wanted to do it, what would you say to that person that they're empty nester or they don't have children and they're thinking about it? Think about how many people you talk to, they're thinking about it, but they never. It's people that gone to Africa now just because of you.
Yeah. There are, and like, you know what though, even if you have children, you know, recently with the passing of Kobe Bryant and the other 9 people, including Gigi, that were on that helicopter, what it really solidified like what I'm thinking and what my motto is like, you really have to live this life. Like, you really have to do the things that feed your soul. You know what I mean? You have to connect with the people that feed your soul. You have to do the things that feed your soul. You have to eat the things that feed your soul. You have to just live your best life at every moment. Like, people like, oh, you live your best life. Like, I'm just going to go to work because, you know, I got bills and I got this. Yeah, go to work, pay your bills. I'm not saying don't pay your bills. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, try to find something every single day that really means a lot, that you're living your best moment, because life is too short. You just don't know. Like, and that's what when I was working my accounting job, my tech jobs, you know, making great money, 6-figure salary plus bonuses plus unlimited time off. Like, I was going to work and I would really feel like this is not the best Tuanni that I feel like it could be. You know what I mean? Like, the money is not gonna make me happy. So I don't know. I just feel like I would tell people to live your best life no matter what it is. Try to do a little bit every single day, even if you have kids. And I think that's hopefully that's what I'm showing my kids and I'm showing other people around the world. And it's not as hard as you think it is. Like, Africa seemed hard to me before I started coming. It seemed far away. It seemed expensive. It seemed unknown. People would say, oh, African people don't like us, Black people in America. There were so many things why I shouldn't come to Africa. And I finally came. And I'm happy that I did.
And all the stuff is just like, it's like all the stuff you got to see for yourself. That's the biggest thing I learned, even coming from, I'd never been to California before. I moved here in 2008 and everybody had an opinion about it. And when I got here, I was like, okay, this is home now. And
yeah.
And that was amazing. Tuanni Price. All right. Like I said, I could talk forever. I want to.
Oh my gosh, I know, that's too quick. Like, I literally feel like we could talk forever. Forever. Like, yeah, we could have a marathon. Maybe we should have a marathon.
You and I are gonna have a marathon soon. Let everybody know how to get in touch with you. When you get, well, we gotta do. I'm a foodie and I love to cook, so we're gonna do that pairing thing. We're gonna talk about that. I
have to do that.
That's
cooking with tea and sipping with tea. Something.
TNT cooking and sipping.
Oh, TNT cooking and sipping. I like it. Okay, so until TNT cooking and sipping comes out.
Let people know how to get in touch with you, because we're getting to a whole nother conversation. Like, another thing.
I know, me and you always have these great ideas too. So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me under Tuanni Price. That's my name, Tuanni Price, Price, like the price is right. Tuanni Price on Instagram. You can go to my website, ZuriWineTasting.com. You can just literally Google wine tasting Los Angeles, and I'm like number 3. No, wine tourist Los Angeles, I'm number 3. Wine tasting Los Angeles, I'm in the top 10 though. But yeah, just type
We
in
got to
wine
get her
tasting
up
Los
there.
Angeles.
Like, who else
Yeah,
does Tuanni style stuff?
right? Like, who are these other people? Like people with
These other two.
marketing budgets, like Malibu wines. Yeah,
San Antonio probably is up there.
and San Antonio. Damn, what is that? Damn Stella Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Tuanni Price.
Tuanni Price, Zuri Wine Tasting. Thank you for taking a beat with me there in Cape Town, South Africa. It's about 8:48 p.m. your time.
Yes, I'm staying in an Airbnb that has this beautiful bathtub, so I'm about to just hop in the bathtub, take a bubble bath, relax.
Yes, we'll get that next time we do the we wind out the path.
Hashtag living my best life.
Thank you, Tuanni. Love you, girl. Talk to you soon.
Love you too, Troy. Peace
Bye-bye.
out.